Oh, the conversation we've been looking forward to is about to begin.
Yes, we're about to drop it like it's hot, guys. Never seen it before here on the show. But hey, joining us right now is a very special guest, a veteran actor, movie director, motion pictures director.
Motion picture consultants. And
right.
So much more.
Yes, and so much more.
And of course, stage performer. Goodness me.
He's an all-rounder. He also sings as well. Right.
The one and only.
Drum rolling.
Onwochie.
Woo! Bring out the confetti.
It's great to have you here, sir.
I'm glad to be amongst beautiful people.
Thank you so much.
And
sir.
it's your great station as well.
Oh, thank you.
So I'm glad to be here.
You've been watching the show so far. How have you found it?
Nice, very nice. The last one I saw, just some few minutes ago, there were about 4 or 5 of you having your thing. It's nice, very entertaining, very engaging.
Oh, glad.
But I was distracted with pretty faces, so... So...
It's not our fault.
We try.
I mean, you have transversed from one phase of the industry till now. I mean, you've practically experienced different phases and different transitions that's happened in the Nollywood industry. I watched you growing up as a child, and you were one of my favorite actors, sir. Tell us your experience so far, what you have observed, what you think can be better as well.
Well, thank you. You're right. A bit different from a lot of my colleagues. I've had the privilege of being at the beginning. You know, I was less than 20 when I began to make little impact as a live performer. And some of us were also privileged to be young people working in NTA, I mean, before the emergence of even what we now call Nollywood. You know, so I have passed through that stage up till the time that we had the Ripples, Checkmates, and of course, most naturally, when we started to make direct-to-video, you know, and then now the cinema has taken over, you know, the entire conversation. So I have a privileged position, and I'm glad. I'm glad for one thing. If you trace the trajectory of growth, I'm always very excited, because when you see the works that were done 30 years ago, they are different from 20 years, they are different from 10 years, they are different from the works happening today. So many levels, so many areas of development, so many areas of growth. Yes, there can be a few more different levels of improvement, but I'm happy about where we are now as a motion picture environment.
You know, even though motion picture, movies, series have become what everyone is using to engage in entertainingly today, stage performances are still very relevant. And you've had the opportunity to be part of quite a few of those. You're on one now, Motherland?
Yes.
Please let us into how you have become part of that.
Well, I mean, for a long time in my life, I mean, I was an actor on stage, and television and film, it had a way of soaking one away, you know, so temporarily I forgot about live performance, and all of a sudden, Bolanle, Austen-Peters, and I say it as a joke, that she brought me out of retirement, you know, to participate in what she was doing. And I have found the experience absolutely amazing, to the extent that I want to continue and do more. So yes, Bolanle, Austen-Peters directed and produced Motherland. It's a musical. It's a musical that in 90 minutes was telling you the story of Nigeria from beginning to now that we're sitting. In a very captivating way, with music, dance, and drama. And oh, yes, she's got the secret. She dealt with it amazingly, and it was beautiful.
Wow. Yeah. We need to hear so much more about Motherland. On the couch with an extra special guest, veteran actor, movie director, and so much more, Mr. Francis Onwochie. Welcome to the studio once again.
Yes, sir. So when we went on the break, so we're talking about the stage theater the theater industry in Nigeria. And if you were to really critique or really look at actors, how you know really good actors is from their experience with stage, with theater performances. But unfortunately, the theater industry in Nigeria is not as popular as it should be. But if you want to really experience core movie, theater experience, core acting, that is where you see it. That's where you see it live. That's where you actually really experience it. What do you think has to change, you know, in that regard?
Not a lot. But I'll tell you this. This is the way I describe it. You know, theater will be the real thing, R-E-A-L, and then screen is the real thing, R-E-E-L. That just for me summarizes that if you want the real thing, R-E-A-L, you come to the theater. Listen, the challenge that theater in Nigeria is facing, it's almost all over the world, in Europe, America, and everywhere else. Because of the minimalness of how much exposure that you have. In a stage production, you rehearse several weeks, sometimes 2 months, and it's probably going on for 7 days, thereabout. On TV, film, you know, television series and film, it will be on for a long time, and so many people will have opportunity to see
watch it.
So that's why, that's the difference. But indeed, you captured it excellently while we're on break, that brilliant actors, you will know them when you see them on stage, because over time, they have sharpened every aspect of their art, which is different from television, where you can jump in, you know, get your lines, say if you think look beautiful like you, and then everybody's saying, oh, she's amazing and all of that.
So do you think that, sorry,
no, it's fine.
Do you think that for one to be an actor, you have to experience that theater?
To be honest, it depends on choice.
Okay.
What's your choice? Where do you want to be? How do you want to go? And again, there are not so many opportunities for people now to get full, better grounding on stage. When we were growing up, there are different playhouses that you could go and sharpen your art. And then, of course, some people from school environment, they had integrated themselves into live performance.
True.
But now, it depends on where you want to go. Who do you want to be? What kind of an actor do you want to be? There are some actors who just want to do television. That's fine. When you invite them to stage performances, they say, no, I'll pass. But there are some actors who you already know that, oh, in the stage matter, they're there. You know, and so when you invite them, they're excited to be on it.
Maybe people don't have a well-rounded idea of what it actually takes to prepare for a stage performance. Like, for instance, for Motherland now, let us into a standard rehearsal or planning for a stage performance like that.
For Motherland, I mean, at least I can tell you about that because I was part of the beginning till the end. I mean, maybe after the auditions that the project owners must have done, you will have to come to rehearsals. Sometimes it goes on for about 4, 5, 6 hours every day.
Wow.
Every day. And so the director, like Bolanle, Austen-Peters, will try to take out everything that you've got, refine it so that it can be ready for performance. And you do that every day as if like somebody going to work. We take it like rehearsals, like somebody going to work, going to an oil industry to work, going to a bank to work every day until performance time. And when you come to performance, we'll take it like that until the end of the show. So the level of concentration, the level of discipline, the level of attention, the level of creative verve that you will need to deploy to come out your best. Because you see, there are no 2 takes, there are no take 3, there are no take 4. You come in, you
live.
give it. When you mess up, you mess everything up. And so nobody wants to mess up a stage performance. And so when you're even making a musical, it becomes more demanding because then you're going to be talking about acting, music, dance, drama. Look, so which is different from just coming to say a few lines on screen and then, you know, you're the person to be talked about. Making a musical takes much more, and it takes better experts like Bolanle, Austen-Peters to, you know, come up with those kind of presentations.
But you know that, I'm so sorry, you know that we can't have someone like you here on the couch with us without having a taste of that live performance, that monologue or that song, because this is a musical we're talking about, right?
So you went back there.
Yes, so I went there because you sing, you perform on stage, and you're preparing for one right now. So you have one right now ready for us.
It's Bolanle that made me sing. I'm not your normal singer.
Are you sure?
You know, I'm not your normal singer. But you see, again, when you work with a team that's committed to excellence, they help you to overreach, you know, and get to the level where you want to get to. So you want...
Yes, we want to...
We would love it.
A sprinkling of that flavor. Your camera is that one over there. Let's see.
Let me do the one that we have turned into something like an anthem in motherland.
Okay.
Everybody sings it now. You know, it's actually my song in the play.
Okay.
You know, I knew it. It's always ending like this. Our call to nationalism always ending like this. Solidarity to the flag always torn down the middle in three by selfish tribalism. I knew it was going to happen. And it continues.
I can imagine seeing him on stage.
Amen.
You know,
Amen.
It goes a lot more, but what that just tries to capture is the kind of selfish way we look at things in Nigeria, the idea of tribalism, the idea of tearing ourselves apart when it comes to, instead of putting our attention to building a nation. So a lot of times you find that we are our own enemy. And some of these songs, a lot of them were original creations from the music directors who worked on the project.
This project feels very personal to you because it feels like there's a message even you want to let people know, like there's a message you want to tell people through this project.
Absolutely.
I mean, even from hearing you speak.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, because now, more than any time in the history of Nigeria, people want hope.
Yes.
People want renewed, reinvigorated attention to the project Nigeria. And the only way it can come is if all of us decide that, look, more than our own personal desires, we all need to focus on the project Nigeria. And indeed, that's what Motherland tries to achieve.
Thank you
It's
so
been
much.
a really interesting show today. It has. I know Winfrey and Mazino have been in the kitchen watching and listening intently to what you've been saying so far. I'm just wondering if they have some contributions.
Well,
to
after
discuss.
all the theatre, you know, that we've got today, I'm thinking that we should have our own production.
Wow.
What would we call it?
Wake up,
I'm not on that board with you, man.
Nigeria Theatre.
Anyways, I was happy there live at Terra Culture, and I witnessed the Motherland stage.
Oh, she
and
was
it
there.
Yeah, she was
absolutely
there.
amazing. And Miss Francis, your performance was also very
Yeah.
resounding. And I think it actually was a good representation of, I mean, what even what we have now in the political system, talking about old generation, new generation, and all of that. So yes, and I'm looking forward to the Easter as well. I think I'll see it again.
She's got something so intelligent to say all the time. All I have to say is, to be
Or
or not to be.
That is the question. But you know what? Let's have a little bit of a throwback. Tango with me. Do you remember that one?
Tango with me.
Tango with me.
Oh, yes,
Joseph Benjamin was in
Yeah,
there.
and Genevieve.
Genevieve was in there.
Yes. Ah, where
Let's
did
see.
you get that from?
You guys should actually see.
That was a beautiful story, by the way. Tango with me, a beautiful one.
You were line producer on this particular project?
Yes. I was line producer, and it was actually a privileged position to be line producer on a project like this. That's the first time we're beginning and ending a film in Nigeria on 35 mm celluloid.
Wow.
And that's directed by Mahmoud Ali Balogun. You know, because at the time, we were always talking about this, our films going for festivals. So this was in 2010.
Wow.
You know, and it traveled and made a huge impact around the world. So I'm very passionate about tango. I didn't even know that you guys are bringing it up.
Yes.
You know, yeah.
I mean, there's so quickly we need to wrap up. But then there's something I really need you to say to the young ones, because there's a lot of we see a lot of young faces taking up the Nollywood space right now, and they're doing exceptionally well. I mean, you're a veteran. You've experienced every phase of the industry, every facet of the industry. Is there anything that you'd like to say to them, to encourage them, what you think they should do better?
For the motion picture environment?
Yes.
Yes. I'll just be very brief about it. Acting, producing, directing, every work in the creative industry, particularly the motion picture environment, is unique in itself. Wherever you have found yourself useful, whether as an actor, as a director, as a cameraman, as a director of photography, costumier, makeup, and take the job seriously. If it does not pay now, it will pay later. But you have to take it as a job and become a professional in it. If you had not had training, allow yourself some measure of training. Allow yourself growth pattern. Give yourself time. And over time, you will bloom. When you begin to succeed, it is the success that people will see. Nobody remembers all the struggles. So there will be struggles around the entire environment. But once you are consistent and focused, you will get to where you want to get to.
Thank you so much, sir.
Words on marble there.
Amen.
Yes, sir.
I mean, it's such a pleasure having you here on the show. Thank you so much for being here.
It is. Of course,